everyone, it's Crystal. It's your red pilled brown girl coming at you. I want to play a clip for the beginning. Let's start with that because I think it's so important.
The burden of unfair tariffs from other countries. We all agree that it is great for the president to have leverage in order to demand reasonable things like that country stop allowing fentanyl to murder 100,000 Americans every year and that Mexico do its part to police its own border. And yet when somebody has the courage to show up and say to Wall Street, screw you, I am waging war. I'm waging class warfare on behalf of the American working class. And you elites in Wall Street, you do what you need to do because I'm not going to stop fighting for the American working class. Suddenly, everybody is sitting around going, oh no, the stock market. Yeah, the stock market looks like that because the rich are punishing Trump for siding with the neglected and humiliated American working class over them. We have already seen these tariffs work, Pierce. The number of people crossing the southern border is at zero. Fentanyl is at record lows for the last 10 years. We have already seen $1.2 trillion in manufacturing invested in this country since January 21st. So they have already worked. Now, how long is Wall Street going to keep trying to punish this president for standing the American working class? I don't know, but I can tell you that the view from the street is people cannot believe that there is a president who is working for them, who is putting them first and telling Wall Street to go screw itself. Wall Street, which picked the Democrats for the last 3 election cycles in a row. That's what the real story is here.
Canada has the...
What I find so frustrating about the conversation around tariffs is that we all agree on the problem. We all agree that the deindustrialization of America led to the downward mobility of the American working class, deaths of despair, people working multiple jobs and not being able to afford the American dream. We all agree that it is deeply unfair for the American middle class to be bearing the burden of unfair tariffs from other countries. We all agree that it is great for the president to have leverage in order to demand reasonable things like that country stop allowing fentanyl to murder 100,000 Americans every year and that Mexico do its part to police its own border. And yet when somebody has the courage to show up and say to Wall Street, screw you, I am waging war. I'm waging class warfare on behalf of the American working class. And you elites in Wall Street, you do what you need to do because I'm not going to stop fighting for the American working class. Suddenly, everybody is sitting around going, oh no, the stock market. Yeah, the stock market looks like that because the rich are punishing Trump for siding with the neglected and humiliated American working class over them. We have already seen these tariffs work, Pierce. The number of people crossing the southern border is at zero. Fentanyl is at record lows for the last 10 years. We have already seen $1.2 trillion in manufacturing invested in this country since January 21st. So they have already worked. Now, how long is Wall Street going to keep trying to punish this president for standing the American working class? I don't know, but I can tell you that the view from the street is people cannot believe that there is a president who is working for them, who is putting them first and telling Wall Street to go screw itself. Wall Street, which picked the Democrats for the last 3 election cycles in a row. That's what the real story is here.
Canada has the...
When it just makes sense. It's your red-pilled brown girl searching for the truth. It's your red-pilled brown girl. When it just makes sense. It's your red-pilled brown girl. Get into the truth. It's your red-pilled brown girl. Yeah.
Hey everyone, it's Crystal. It's your red pilled brown girl. I'm so excited to be with you guys. Oh my gosh, I missed you. I did not go live on Thursday, you guys, so I did not get a chance to talk to you. There's been so much going on. Okay, so most of you guys know that I still work a 9 to 5. And so sometimes work gets in the way of, me podcasting, but I missed y'all. I have so much to talk about. If you are not following me on Instagram, I do a lot of Instagram posts. Please go follow me, like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get my Instagram people to get over here to YouTube. You guys, I am really on the road to um 10,000 subscribers, you guys, right now. I just need your help. Share this with someone. I am the red pilled brown girl. And I say that to say, I have been the Democrat of the like, y'all, I was as Democrat as they came. And if I can be if I can become a conservative, if I can be red pilled, y'all, then anybody can. Don't give up on your family. Don't give up your family. Send them this, like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Donna, I love you. That's my sister. Matthew, y'all already know that's my boo thing. That's my bae. I don't need pretend, okay? Some people be on these YouTubes and they be having their friends and their family like chatting so they look popular. Not me. Mm-mm. No. That's my boo, and that's my sister. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Anywho, it's just a show. To me, I feel like that shows that I have family that supports me, loves me, people that don't necessarily always agree with me, but they hear out my message because my message is a common sense kind of thing going on, you guys. This is not hard, okay? What I am talking to you guys about is not hard. It's not Republican. It's not even Democrat. It is just common sense. So please, you guys, like, share, subscribe, send this to someone who you think will be interested. My sister actually told me, a nurse on her job. My sister is works in a hospital, and she said one of the nurses on her job sent her one of my videos, and y'all, I feel like I made it. It's like, Mama, I made it. Mama, I made it. When you got people sending it to you, and my sister was like, "That's my sister." Mind you, she's still a Democrat, but y'all, she's coming along because let me tell you, the craziness and the foolishness that's going on. We are going to talk about tariffs. I think tariffs are so, like, I think the message, you guys, the message around these tariffs is getting on my nerves really bad. So we're going to talk about it. And I want you guys to just, like, think about it from, like, the standpoint of what team are you on? Okay? What team are you on? And I've been having these weird conversations with people that are so emotional and so upset about something that has not happened yet. I mean, you cannot convince these people that, I'm telling you, it is henny penny like a mother, because the sky is falling with these people. People are like getting crazy over the craziest things. Nobody's going hungry. Nobody's you know, like losing their social security, but in their mind people are like, people are losing their social security. People are getting laid off with 8 months severance. How many of you guys out there want to get laid off with 8 months severance? 8 months severance? Get that to me any day of the week and twice on Sunday. A job is a job. No one owes you a government job, as we talked about. But people are acting like we are in the worst shape than we've ever been. I mean, literally, like you talk to people and they can't even talk about it. I have to admit, you guys, that sometimes when I get really passionate, I get really, really like mad. And I don't do disrespect really well. I don't. I don't. And okay, y'all, I am scared that somebody is going to catch me acting less than Christian because someone tried it with me. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't do disrespect very well. I think it's my New York. I think that's why I get President Trump so much because I don't do disrespect. You can have a different opinion than I am. You can be snarky or whatever, but when that snarkiness tries to turn into like disrespect, I'm just not good with that, you guys. Y'all have to pray for me. I need all of my people out there to pray for me, your sister, because when people try it, I just get mad. So I was talking to this girl, and it wasn't just her. It was a bunch of people, like a bunch of people. We were just talking and laughing about the tariffs. And they were saying, Henny Penny, sky is falling, everybody's gonna die, everything is gonna be bad, apocalyptic around these tariffs, right? And there was just one individual that was like she was picking, y'all. She was picking. She was picking. And at first, I was just trying to like being cool with her, like, like laughing. And I said, you guys, y'all have to understand that I am very familiar with this administration. And in a couple of months, when we're all talking and laughing, y'all gonna owe me a drink because these tariffs are gonna work. And so I'm being jokey. Sis, you know what color she was, right? Do I have to tell y'all what color she was? Anyway, sis started like getting really, really serious with me and like just aggressive. And I just got mad, y'all. I almost got into a fight. I don't fight. I'm 41 years old. I'm 41 years old with 3 kids. I'm not going to be out here fighting. Y'all, I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting. So I have learned that sometimes people are way too emotional to talk about this tariff situation, this administration, to talk about that. I just gotta, y'all. I was on the phone with my mom, and I told y'all already know my mom is a Democrat, y'all. My mom said to me, she said, baby, please, please just don't talk to these people about like this stuff because I don't want you in any trouble or anything. And y'all, I'm gonna listen to my mom. She told me, she said, if they want to know what you think, just tell them to watch your podcast. I said, Mommy, that is such good advice. And I needed to hear that from my mom, y'all. I really did. Because people are really out here going crazy. Like, what is going on? We're going to talk about these aggressive Democrats that want like to show themselves like we conservatives are punks. And I'm getting a little frustrated. I don't know about y'all. I'm getting frustrated about the law enforcement. Like y'all gonna cause my president to have to do something about it because y'all out here bugging out, hitting people, like punching people, taking people's stuff. Y'all like over their politics. Over their politics. Like we're in America. We can think, we can breathe, we can say whatever we want to say. And for you as another American to feel like you can bully and intimidate someone into believing the way that you believe as opposed to um like engaging in in constructive conversation and dialect dialogue um is amazing to me. Have we gotten there, y'all, where we can't even have a conversation? People want to fight you People want to be aggressive with you because of your politics, because you support the president. Are we there? Y'all, so I have just decided that I'm going to tread lightly because these Democrats out here are trying people, and I'm not the one, y'all. I'm sorry. Try Jesus, not me. I'm serious. Like y'all going to see me on YouTube fighting because I know. I like y'all just pray for your sister. Pray for her because I don't know if I'm going to be that Christian when somebody come in my face. I literally don't know what's going to happen. And y'all just pray for me. Anywho, these tariffs, y'all, I can't believe how emotional people are getting and how angry they're getting about the tariffs. I love what this lady says in the beginning in that clip, you guys. Like, we know the tariffs work. The tariffs have been since the first administration. Since the very first administration of President Trump, he put these tariffs on. And what's so interesting about the tariffs that he put on in the first administration is the Biden administration didn't remove the tariffs. We didn't know that, huh? We didn't know that. They didn't remove the tariffs. Why? Because the tariffs work to help preserve American jobs. Y'all, we cannot be a country that doesn't make anything. Can I say that one more time? We cannot be a country that doesn't make anything. The only thing that the Biden administration felt like we should make is LGBTQ people and trans people. That's literally all they cared about. They spent all of our tax dollars. They spent all of our money toward this message of the gospel of transgenderism and LGBTQism. That's literally what they spent all of their time and effort, our money, our tax dollars. So here we have China making our antibiotics. China doing our steel. All of our steel factories have gone to China. And I did something on PBD talking about it. And you guys can go back and reference that video. But it's called the Pittsburgh Steelers because that was their main industry. Now we have like one company in America that makes steel. Who can survive in this modern day without steel? And all the plants went to China. I was telling somebody that I said, yeah, did you know that all of the steel plants have shut down and closed and gone over to China? And she said, yeah, because they weren't healthy. Huh? Yeah, they weren't healthy, so we sent them over to China. If they're not healthy for Americans, you're going to send them over to China for China to build them? Or is that the gotcha, y'all? Is that the gotcha? Oh, Americans can't build steel. No, because we're too fragile. So we'll let our enemy or I don't know if China is our enemy, but China is our competition. We'll let our competition build our steel. Does that make sense, y'all? Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat. Does that make sense? And clearly, it's healthy enough for them. They got 1 billion people over there. Hey, Marissa Mack, girlfriend, how are you? Oh gosh, I know I only got you for like 30 minutes. Marissa be sleep, y'all. She be like, I'm sorry, it's too late. So like, but she watches the playback. I love my peoples. Marissa, you gotta watch the playback if you fall asleep, girlfriend. So yeah, so China makes our antibiotics, makes our steel. We import pretty much everything that we use, y'all. and other places do not take our products. I was talking to these people the other day, and I said, "Do you understand that we don't export anything in mass?" And guess what he said? Yes, we do. I'm not talking to a serious person when when I say we don't export things in mass. Everybody knows that that's a true statement, right? In mass, we are a nation of consumers, and the only thing that we export is services. So we export our services, we don't export any goods. So I said, "Do you see a whole bunch of Fords overseas in other countries?" And this person said, "Yes." Y'all, these people will say anything to win an argument. But I done went overseas and I don't see a whole bunch of Fords. I don't. Now let me know. I see Toyotas. I see I see Hondas. I even see Scion stuff I ain't even seen before, like other names that cars that I didn't even know about. I don't see no Fords over there, y'all. I don't. But determined to win the argument, this gentleman said, "Oh, I see it." He said, "Do you know what the number one export is for America? What we export?" And mind you, these people swear they know. So me, when I go into a conversation, I want to know if they know too. So I sit there and I listen and I said, "What?" No, I said fuel because I know it's fuel. He said, "No, it's not fuel." You can do a simple Google search. The number one export for America right now is fuel. He said, "No, it's not fuel." Okay, well, what is it? It's farming. What? What? Farming? Farming. We export farming. Y'all, I'm not saying that we don't have some farms that export things. Exactly, sleepwalking. But that is not our, like, farming is not our like base, okay? We don't do cotton anymore. That was a big thing for us. The biggest thing now is intellectual property, our military, medical supplies and things like that. That's kind of what we do very, very well. But we even have China making our PPE, like making our protective wear. Like, our competition is making all the things that we need to be a thriving nation. Y'all tell me if that is a model of a healthy economy. And President Trump even said it. He said it's a matter of national security. I'm going to show you Stephen Miller because I think Stephen Miller breaks it down so well. But it's a matter of national security. We have to make things here. We cannot allow these people who are competing with us. Some people say they hate us. I don't know if they hate us or not. We can't allow our entire economy to be ran by people who are trying to compete for our spot. They cut us off and then we don't have anything. Our chips, the chips that are manufactured in Taiwan, that basically is responsible for all of our electronics. That's our intellectual property, you guys. We made that stuff. And then these countries found out how to replicate it and then get it cheaper and make it cheaper with their slave labor. And so they then send it over to Taiwan and then sell it back to us for a higher price. And all President Trump is saying, if they decide that we are at war with them and they don't like us anymore, we can't function. We can't function because we don't make anything anymore. Who can be mad at that? Who can be mad at that? Exactly. Marissa, Marissa says we definitely consume 99% of everything. I'm tired of made in China. I'm tired of made in it. There's this song that I love and it says spend a little more in the store for a tag in the back that says USA. Yes. It's got red, white, and blue, high on the farm. Simplified tattoo. He said, "Isn't it? He ain't prejudiced. He's made in America." That's the song. Made in America. Y'all. So I'm tired of it, y'all. We have to support our president in helping us bring back our own sovereignty, our own security, our own prosperity. Like, y'all, come on. So here, I'm going to share this with you guys where Stephen Miller, who is God, like, is he not a master with words, y'all? Like, Stephen Miller can break down like anything. He can break it down like so beautifully. Hold on, let me like, I really need y'all to hear him break down this thing. Hold on. Here we go. I need y'all to hear him break it down. He breaks it down wondrously. Hold on, let me go back. Y'all, when I say I just love, and we're going to talk about this too, how people literally loved President Trump. People thought the same exact things that we thought about him, that we love about him. Sorry, that's my sister. I love her. Y'all, I got a lot of sisters. I do. I know you're like, oh, everybody's your sister. Yes, they really are. Truthfully. Okay, here. Sound.
Complete reversal of that. This is the great onshoring, the great reshoring of American jobs and wealth. So if you look at America today, we're totally dependent on foreign countries for the supplies that make this country run, for all of the essential goods, materials, manufactured products that make it possible for us to live our lives. Our cars, our electronics, all the materials that go into our homes, our buildings, our medical supplies, our entire supply chains are completely embedded in foreign countries. So if there's a national emergency of any kind, and a country shuts off an import, or a foreign power embargoes a sea lane, we are then left defenseless, helpless, because of the decisions that prior leaders made that President Trump is now reversing to let all of these industries leave our country. And so what he's doing today is, for the first time ever, he's saying that if you have stolen our jobs and therefore threatened our national security, we will apply a reciprocal tariff based on the degree of your misconduct. So for countries like China, for example, they will see a very high tariff rate because they've engaged in the most egregious conduct that threatens our national security. For countries that have severe but not as severe misconduct, they'll see a moderate but not as high tariff rate. The effect, though, of those global tariffs will be that companies will have to move their production back into the United States. So factories will leave, whether it be Mexico or Canada or Vietnam or Cambodia or China or the European Union. They will come back to the United States to produce their products, to make their goods. And in so doing, yes, it will create jobs. Yes, it will increase revenues. But most importantly, it will restore our national security so that we will not be dependent on anyone else to survive and thrive as a nation. That's the significance we're talking about today, the most important economic event of our lifetimes.
Wow. Yes. Oh my God. Y'all, I felt like he put that as plain as it could possibly. I felt like he put that as plain as it possibly can be. Y'all, we're not talking about national security. What I hear people talking about is just emotion. Like, like they're like, oh, Trump doesn't know what he's doing. Now, mind you, let me remind you, Trump is a billionaire. Okay. I need, I need the brokies to understand this. And mind you, I'm right there with you. I'm not billionaire either. I need you to understand. He understands this better than you and I. that I can promise you. He might you're okay, you're right. You're right. He don't understand. He don't understand. Okay, that's fine. That's so fine. Maybe he doesn't understand it. But I guarantee you he understands it more than we do. This man has traveled the world. He has been everywhere, he's probably touched every single continent. He has become a billionaire. He sells his apartments and hotels to everyone across the globe, rich, poor. So even if he doesn't know himself, he has had some of the smartest, most gifted people that he's interacted with. He's interacted with world leaders, top people at the top of their game. So even if you don't believe in President Trump's intellect, believe in the fact that he has the opportunity and has talked to plenty of smart people. Elon Musk. I know y'all don't like him. Stop saying he's stupid. We all know he's not stupid. This man puts rockets in the air. He's not stupid. And even if okay, let's say he's stupid. If Elon Musk is stupid and Trump is stupid, then what does that make us? If they're stupid, then I don't know what you call us. Anywho, so President Trump understands the market. He understands money. Can we agree that he understands money? Oh, well, he filed bankruptcy. Yeah, that was years ago, and now he's a billionaire. A lot of y'all filed bankruptcy and are not billionaires, okay? Okay. I'll even tell you my personal story of filing bankruptcy in one in a later video. But we're not billionaires, y'all. We're not billionaires. He is. Not only that, he is almost 80. So including the fact that he has all this experience because of his life. I mean, because of his like the wealth and success that he's acquired. He also has the money to show it. And people are not trusting him. Why? Because the TV says it. Don't trust him. Y'all, my biggest issue with not trusting President Trump and wanting President Trump to fail. Do you know that President Trump will not be affected if he fails? President Trump and his family and his kids and his grandkids. Let me talk to you. You know the Bible says the children's children. President Trump's children's children are going to be wealthy for probably forever, y'all. If President Trump fails, that's you and I. And so for people who constantly act like him failing is the goal, or watch, he's going to fail. He's going to fail. It's not going to work. He's going to crash the economy. Why would you do that? Whose side are you on? Where do you live? Where do you live? Are you Chinese and I just don't know it? These are Americans saying this. And it's so frustrating as an American who has children here, who is invested in this, in the success of this country, because my children have an American birth certificate, and so do I, say you're almost rooting for him to fail. And it hasn't even been 2 months. You have not even said, or 3 months. It hasn't even been 100 days yet. You haven't said, okay, let's wait and see. I hope it works out. I hope he can figure it out. You're not praying for him. You're not asking God, Lord, I don't know what you're doing, but cover President Trump, because it means that our future is going to be in jeopardy if not. You're not doing anything. You're siding with these rich, wealthy people who are acting badly because they failed to do half the job that President Trump has done in a whole 8 years. Barack Obama, they failed to do what he has done in 3 months. And you're listening to them. You're affected by them. Marissa says, I hear so many complaints about the stock going down, stock market going down, prices going up, job loss, so much whining. And we're going to talk about what's going on with the stock market. I really, really want you guys to understand the people who control the stock market are the people who own assets. Assets, okay? Asset owners. What happens when the economy is a little uneasy, right? Like when it's uneasy, it's uncertainty. The market starts to act that way, right? But the asset owners know that the people who own the assets, these are the people who own the businesses. These are the people who own the buildings, who own the commercial property, who own the rental properties, and who own the boats and cars and all of that. These are the asset owners. They know that the value of their asset, when you bring prices down, the value of their asset is coming down. The value. But what happens when the value comes down? It makes the asset more attainable to the American workers. And that's what President Trump wants. He's literally giving Wall Street the middle finger, giving himself the middle finger. He's an asset owner. I don't know if you know. He's an asset owner. But he's incentivizing the American workers to start to be able to have more purchase power, to have more attainability for the assets. You guys, and that's what we want. That's what the American workers want. But you're listening to the media and you're listening to these people who own all the assets wanting to keep it high. I said to someone yesterday, I don't care what he does. What has been happening ain't working, y'all. It ain't working. So, he's doing the opposite of what'll work. No. He's doing the opposite of what we've seen for the last 4 years, where inflation through the freaking roof. Inflation through the roof. The cost, the money becoming so cheap, the dollar being cheapened. And we having to work more, work longer. American workers are working 2 and 3 jobs just to be able to afford a 1-bedroom apartment that costs us $1,500-$1,600 a month. That's not working. So why are the people who have an American passport not saying, hey, let's see what happens? Like, why are you not? Oh, well, we're just going to be quiet. We're going to see what daddy does. that we don't understand it. It don't look good, but neither has the last 4 years. So we'll just see. I'll take my chances with the guy who is a billionaire, not the guy who came in and became a billionaire while he was in office. Marissa says he failed 1,000 times. It definitely made him the success he is today. Yes, you fail. People fail. Businesses fail. Some of the most important people, Dave Ramsey, actually, who's a genius, a financial genius, he talks about how he failed. Some of y'all need to fail some more. Like some of y'all need to go fail. And then maybe you'll learn something. But no, you want to keep your government job where you produce nothing and you're bad, but a bad attitude, and want the American people to pay for it. I'm sorry. I just want to encourage you guys. I don't care if you're a Democrat and you've been a Democrat all your life. I don't care if you don't like President Trump. I've said many times on this show, you don't have to make a baby with him. You do not have to sleep with him. You don't have to like him. But you have to block for your quarterback. You have to block for your quarterback. You have to block for him. You have to protect him. Why? Because if he loses, we lose. If he loses, we lose. You have to pray for him. You have to trust him. You have to back him. You have to defend him. You have to say, you know what? I don't know what he's doing. I'm just glad he's not giving money overseas anymore. I don't quite understand it. Yeah, he can be a little abrasive sometimes, but let me see what he does. And in 3, 4, 5 months, if we're all eating locusts and honey like John the Baptist, then we can have some criticisms. Then we can say, well, we didn't really like what President Trump did. He really messed up. But right now, he's our president, guys. We are vested in him succeeding. Have I beat that drum too much? Black Bambi, pretty girl. Yes, Trump is trying to save the average American citizen, and I don't know what they don't understand. Marissa says, these people are so full of hate, they can't reason for their own good. Y'all, come on. Our kids have to live here. I am not going to get into these arguments anymore with people, y'all. They are getting aggressive. Not only are they getting aggressive, they're getting so emotional. They're getting it completely irrational. And what they don't even understand is other people are supporting him.
For Trump,
Watch this.
he is looking for fair trade. Fair trade, not free trade. Fair trade, in his mind, and he said it many times, is if American market is open, then he expects other countries to open their market.
Y'all, this man literally is defending President Trump, and we have Americans that won't defend him. This man said he's not looking for free trade. He's looking for fair trade. That means if Americans are allowing you to come over here and flood our markets, then we're going to come over there and flood your markets, or we should be allowed to come over there and flood your markets. And if you don't allow us to come and flood your markets, we're not going to allow you to come and flood our markets. Why is that hard? Why is this complicated? He said reciprocal tariffs, and he said our tariffs are nice. We're not even tariffing them what they tariff us. And then it's not even tariffs, you guys. They don't some countries, they just make it impossible for you to even sell your goods over there. Listen.
China's market has to be open for American products. This is the crucial thing for him. Now, with Trump, I've been following him for a long time. It is not what he says. So when you listen to him, his announcement, look at what he does, not what he says. He's a businessman. He want to make a deal. He want people to come to the table to discuss. So sometimes he come with a very tough announcement, but what he wants is the people who listen to it to come and sit at the table to negotiate. At the end of the day, for Trump, he is looking for fair trade. Fair trade, not free trade. Fair trade, in his mind, and he said it many times, is if American market is open, then he expects other countries to open their market.
Y'all, this is not complicated. And anytime somebody says something about President Trump in this trade, y'all need to send him this. You need to send them this. That other countries, these are Americans, these are not Americans. These are world leaders across the globe. So if you think President Trump is stupid, trust and believe every world leader is not stupid. And they are saying President Trump is not looking for free trade. He's looking for fair trade. If you're going to come into our markets, you have to allow us to come into your markets. And why is that good? Why is that good? There are things that the American people enjoy that are so fantastic that if we could go into other markets and we weren't taxed to death, Steven Crowder actually, if you haven't seen the Steven Crowder, he actually explained it so well. So I'm repeating it. Steven Crowder said, there are certain things that we enjoy, like electric can openers. Like, I mean, seriously, that other countries are still using knives, but we have them, and we're able to use them, you know. And if the market was free or trade was free, other countries could afford them, or other people could afford them. There's certain things that we, certain technologies that we have that we would love to share in a fair global market, but we don't, because of the tariffs that other countries put on us. And if we don't have a tariff, like some of these countries, they make it impossible for you to do it. They mark it up so much that their people can't buy it. So you can't sell it over there. And here you have someone, it looks as though he's from the Middle East, I'm guessing like Saudi Arabia, saying, I get it. I get it. And the tariffs are a negotiating tool, as President Trump has always said. President Trump said, hey, we need to come to the table. Or if you don't want to come to the table, this is what it is. He's a deal maker. And here we have all these countries that are now coming to the table, bringing jobs, like in the clip that I showed in the beginning. It's $1 trillion of investments people are putting into it, bringing jobs, bringing their factories over here because they can't afford our tariffs anymore. So what does that mean? American jobs. We get back to work. Americans can buy things, can start to produce their own things, and then we can sell it cheaper here. This is a good thing. Cheer for President Trump, y'all. I know you mad, and I know you don't like him, and I know he's a racist, and I know he's all those things you call him. I get it. Get it. He's racist. He's mean. He's cheap. He's a bully. All of those things. Okay, fine. We get it. He is trying to make life better for your children, for you. Cheer for him. Support him. Back this man. You don't have to be all MAGA. You know, I'm diehard MAGA. Look, I'm a Trump like y'all, the love for President Trump, I think it just keeps growing and growing. Every day I wake up and I love him more. It's bad. I tell people, sidebar, I tell people, if you're trying to convince somebody, don't try to convince me. I'm so far like Trump. Like, don't convince me. I'm the wrong person to convince. Go convince somebody who's on the fence. Nothing will make me hate this man. Nothing will make me hate him. Anywho, you guys, but that's so important that other people are saying this. But then here's the gotcha, y'all. Here's the gotcha. And this is
China's market.
this is where I say they really trying to play y'all, right? This is where they say they trying to play y'all.
When it
Watch
comes to
these
the
people talk
international
about
system
tariffs.
of commerce and
Oh, sorry. Here we go.
trade, it's legitimate for poorer countries to continue to seek access to wealthier markets. It's also proper for advanced economies like the United States to insist on reciprocity.
What they have said.
Wow. Wow. What Barry say? Barry said reciprocity. Reciprocity. Root word. Reciprocal? Does that sound like recipient? Give, I give. That sounds like a Trump word. Y'all, they were for it. That money just got too good for them. Those deals got too good for them that they backed out on the American people. But President Trump was already a self-made billionaire. He was a self-made billionaire. So he didn't need to take their money. He didn't need to take their money. Let's keep going. Hold on, let me read some of the comments in a minute. I'll read some of the comments in a minute, but let's keep going, y'all.
Is that we need to not worry about manufacturing in America, because what we should establish is a policy of unfettered free trade. We don't need tariffs. What we need is to allow corporate America the freedom to throw American workers out on the street, people who are making 15, 20, 25 bucks an hour, healthcare, pensions, throw them out on the street, because somehow, Madam President, we are going to create wealth in America and good paying jobs in America as we shut down plants. We move to China, corporations there pay workers 20, 30 cents an hour, and we bring the product back into this country.
How far does China have to go? How much more repression? How big a trade deficit and loss of jobs for the American worker? I'd like to call the attention of our colleagues to this chart. In terms of tariffs, I think it's interesting to note that the average U.S. MFN tariff on Chinese goods coming into the United States is 2%, whereas the average Chinese MFN tariff on U.S. goods going into China is 35%. Is that reciprocal? On exports, China only allows certain industries into China, of U.S. Industries into China, and therefore only 2% of U.S. exports are allowed into China. On the other hand, the U.S. allows China to flood our markets with a third of their exports, and that'll probably go over 40%. And it's limitless because we have not placed any restriction.
When it comes to the international...
Y'all, if this doesn't make you understand how the Democrats hate your guts, hate your guts. They are literally saying years back what President Trump is saying now, and they're acting like he is crazy and he's evil and he's a threat to democracy. And no mainstream media is showing this and asking them. They're not standing outside President Barack Obama's house in Martha's Vineyard asking him, "Sir, would you like to retract the statements that you made a few years ago about tariffs?" Nancy Pelosi in her house in California, Madam Speaker, would you like to retract the statements that you made about China a few years ago? Or are you just lying? The mainstream media has become an enemy to the people. I can't say it enough, y'all. They are not asking these people. They are not asking Bernie. Mind you, Bernie is on a whole tour, okay? He's on a whole tour. No one has asked him, "Hey, Senator Sanders, would you like to retract your statements about tariffs and American jobs going overseas now that you are against President Trump doing it? Would you like to retract it? Why did you say it then, and why are you not saying it now?" And y'all, and it's like they just are able to get away with this. Able to get away with this. Oh, God, it makes me so angry. And then they come back like nothing ever happened. Oh, well, we didn't know. Yes, you did. You did know. Stop lying. They're going to say, when the tariffs work, they're going to say, oh, well, we didn't know it was going to work. Yes, you did. You lied. Oh, and these are the same people that told you that if you take the vaccine, you won't get COVID. And then they came back and said, oh, well, we didn't know. Yes, you did. You knew. How did all the people who knew? How did they knew? How did I know? How did my husband know? How did all these people know? Because you did it. You knew. But you were bought and paid for by the pharmaceutical companies. You were bought and paid for by all the evil people. And it's sad, you guys, because no one is calling them to the carpet. Everybody's got all the questions for President Donald Jaquan Trump. Y'all got all the work, all the smoke for Jaquan Trump. Y'all got all the smoke for Donald Trump. And he can take it. He can take it because he built for this. But what does that say about us? What does that say about us as the American people and the American media? Oh my God, y'all. Let me go to some of the comments. Donna, you said President Trump has children and grandchildren invested. He has no reason to jeopardize these questions. The man got 5 kids. You think he want this country to go? Where he gonna go? South Africa? His kids gonna go to South Africa. Y'all already see how they treating white people over in South Africa. White folks' only chance is to, y'all wonder why there's more MAGA white folks, because they know they don't want to go anywhere. America is their home. They're trying to protect it at all costs. America's my home, my children's home. This is crazy. Rebel without a reason. What up? Matthew said, yeah, they're sellouts. Sellouts. So Marissa said, yes, the more I understand him, the more I like. I'm telling you, Marissa, let me girl, I wake up sometimes and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad President Trump is my president. Matthew, he said, it'd be nice to see foreigners do business in places in America other than the hood. Yes! Can we get something other than a chicken box place? Can we get something other than a pizza shop? Can you make a factory over here, please? The Asians is over here selling soul food like a mug, okay? So yes, can we get something other than food places? God. And they're fighting this man like I don't understand. I'll never understand it. I'll never understand these people who are supporting the people who lied to them. Who are supporting the people who lied to them. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. All right. So that's that. Hopefully you guys got a little bit on the tariffs, how they work, why it's important that we implement them. Yo, we got to do this. We got to do this. It's got to work. We can't say, I hope it doesn't work. We got to make it work. And President Trump is the guy to do it. This was all their ideas. And he said that about the wall. He said, when I built the wall, he was like, that wasn't even my idea. He said, they said they wanted to build a wall and I ended up building it. He was like, I should have said, hey, I don't want to build a wall, and then they'll do it. Like, these people are so bought and paid for. But Barry Soetoro, we need to know why you said it then and why you're not saying it now. And these people have been eerily quiet, you guys. Eerily quiet. And I think it has a lot to do with the DOJ. Dan Bongino posted the other day, y'all. He posted on Friday and he said, just because you don't see it happening doesn't mean it's not happening. And I'm like, woo, y'all, I'm smelling some lawsuits coming. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. What y'all think? I hope some. All I know is that these folks can't keep acting like this. Speaking of which, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but yeah, they've been tripping. Like they have been acting out. Have y'all all seen this clip? Ooh. I told y'all I'm not that good of a Christian. I told y'all I am not that good of a Christian. And if somebody
understand the magnitude of having a child. I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused. That's not the point. What I'm saying understand the magnitude of having a child. I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused. That's not the point. What I'm saying
y'all, and we are seeing this type of violence. Us conservatives are seeing this type of violence. If you're just coming in, rebel without reason, Marissa, y'all, I told my story that like it gets intense over politics. They act like conservatives don't have the right to think the way that we want to think or say and she hit her. Y'all, God bless that reporter. I'm so sorry that she got hit in the face, and I'm so sorry that she was attacked like that. Everybody um uh don't know what they would do in that situation, right? You don't know what you would do in that situation. I just know me, y'all. Y'all have to pray for your sister. I'm your sister. If that were me, y'all, y'all, and I'm not making fun of the girl who was attacked. Everybody ain't built, everybody's different. Like everybody's built differently. Everybody grow up, have different circumstances. Some people are not aggressive, some people are not fighters. Y'all, I somebody hit me in the face like that. That's all I have to say. I can't. How dare she? How dare she hit that woman just because you disagree with her pro-life stance? You hit her. Which makes sense. You're already a violent person because you want to kill babies in the womb. You want to lynch babies in the womb. But my thing is had this been a white chick, it was black, white, it would have been everywhere, y'all. It would have been, people would have been losing their minds. But because she's a black girl and she's Democrat and she's pro killing babies, she's allowed to hit this other black woman because you didn't like her opinion, because you didn't like the way she was talking to you. How dare you? And the thing about it is these black people that act like they so like pro-black, you don't hear anything from them. Calling this woman to the carpet. You don't ever hit a woman. I don't care if you don't like her. You don't hit her in the face. Like, how dare you? She's not getting swatted like a lot of us conservatives. She's not getting all she's getting is conservatives are just trying to share the message. Share the message. No, she needs to suffer consequences. Severe consequences. How dare you? And conservatives are so mature That we're not standing outside her house, spray painting her car, hurting her property, which all of which she probably deserves. We don't even deserve it, and they do it to us. Conservatives don't hit anybody in the face like that. It's crazy. That girl, let me tell you, that reporter, that girl, bless her heart, she is going to wear a crown in glory, because I tell you
Understand the
what.
magnitude of having a child. I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused. That's not the point. What I'm
Just hit her in the face. And that's what conservatives are that's what we are getting from these people. And it's just breeding more and more disrespect, more and more contempt. And that's why sometimes I get so angry sometimes, because sometimes I'm looking at them like, why you think you can come at me like that, homie? Like, why you think you could come at me like that? Like, do I got punk on my face? I don't know if you know, but I'm not a Republican. I vote Republican. I'm a conservative, but I'm a conservative from the hood. Like, don't try me. Don't try me. Try Jesus, not me. Please. I'm shocked sometimes when they be coming at me like that, because I be like, clearly I got punk written on my forehead or something, because why they coming at me like that? I'm not giving the vibes that you just could come at me like that. I'm very friendly. I'm very nice. I love people, you guys. But let me tell you, I don't have no tolerance for somebody disrespecting me like I don't have like like I'm not an American. Like I don't have the same rights endowed by God to me. I don't have that kind of patience for those people. And conservatives, we better wake up. We better wake up, cuz these people are running havoc. They are wreaking havoc on our towns, on our cities. Whew. Sheesh. Speaking of which, yes, Marissa, that is just, thank you. Thank you so much for saying this. Crickets. Just like the teen stabbing. It hasn't been crickets, Marissa. It hasn't been crickets. If it had been crickets, that would have been just consistent with the blacks. But you know what the blacks are now doing? Y'all, y'all, the blacks are defending Carmela with a K. So if you don't know the story, two teens got into a altercation or a interaction at a track meet. Um the teen um name is, y'all, I should say his name. This is so bad. Austin Metcalf. And I love the way black conservatives, y'all, if you're not following him, he's definitely a conservative that just so happened to be black. He don't do all that black stuff, and I just love him. But he breaks it down, and I'm going to share it with you guys. But these are two 17-year-olds, one football star. They both um uh got into an altercation at a track meet, because apparently the black boy was in the tent of the other 17-year-old, and he wasn't supposed to be there. Sir, how many of you guys believe the story that a young black kid is in a tent or in a place that he's not supposed to be? Is that believable? We see it all the time. We see it all the time. Niggas, they do this kind of stuff. I'm sorry. They do. They do. Right? Nothing, you know, it's just, it's kind of goes with the culture, right? So finds him in this tent, and I guess the white boy, Austin Metcalf, tries to tell him, "Hey, bro, you're in the wrong tent. You need to go." Whether he did it mean or nice, I am going to tell you right now, it doesn't matter. Okay? Why? Because we are in America. We don't have Sharia law over here. You don't get to just kill people because you didn't like the way they said something to you. You don't get to hit people because you don't like the way they said it. You can do it, but you're going to be prosecuted at the fullest extent of the law. I think that's my problem, y'all. I think that's my problem. And we're going to go into Austin Metcalf. I think that's my problem. You brought up the Officer Tatum thing. Rebel Without a Reason brought up the Antifa stealing Officer Tatum, and the cops on the scene didn't do nothing. That's my problem. I was just talking to my husband. I said, I think for me, as a conservative who votes Republican, I think I'm more bothered. I'm not bothered by the audacity of these classless people. I'm more bothered by the fact that they are emboldened to do it because they know the cops are not going to do anything. They know the cops are not going to do anything. I think I'm more bothered by that. They are acting out their behavior. They're all a bunch of children. They're all a bunch of single parent homes. They're all a bunch of miserable people. They're all a bunch of either white liberals, cat ladies, or just miserable people. They're all overweight. They all have problems, okay? They probably ain't got a man in sight, ain't seen a real man in a long time. For the men, they ain't seen a real woman in a long time. They're all miserable, okay? But my issue is not with them. My issue is with the cops because they know the cops are not going to do anything. And this is America. That's not allowed. We are a country of law and order. And so to watch these people just wreak havoc on the American people, that bothers me. That bothers me. But more important, you guys, I want you to see this. I want you to see the blacks when it comes to this situation. It's so disheartening. It's so disheartening because let me tell you something. So the teens get into a fight. The teens get into a fight, and white boy is policing, like they're just kids. And well, the white boy's like, yo, you can't be here, you're not supposed to be here. He was probably ghetto and probably causing havoc, or maybe he was a nice young man. It doesn't matter. You're in a place that you're not supposed to be in. And he pulls out a knife and stabs this person. But look at the response.
Phone so quick. Why is there no video footage of the incident that happened down in Frisco, Texas? Well, remember the young man who I shared his post earlier where he said that Carmelo Anthony was a victim and was being bullied by the two twin white boys, right? Well, he actually has been responding to comments on that post that he made of people who were being racist, saying that it didn't matter. He still brought a knife. Well, this is what he says. Allegedly, there is a video. He says those kids were bullies. They attacked one person, outnumbered him. What was he supposed to do? Oh, but I forgot. It's only self-defense when it's convenient for you. It's called stand your ground. He said, there is a video. You'll see it in court. Just wait. Stop letting race-baiting headlines cloud the truth. This isn't about color. It's about right and wrong. These kids were bullies. They attacked and outnumbered him, which is really interesting because now we know, wow, there is video footage. And he's standing 10 toes down that this video footage is going to exonerate Carmelo Anthony.
So I really wanted to come on here and
from stabbing someone. Oh, I was being bullied, so I took out a knife and I stabbed someone to death. And the blacks are defending it. I just wonder, y'all, that if they would be defending this if the shoe were on the other foot. Because how many of you guys have gotten bullied? I gotten bullied. I get bullied. I'm getting bullied now. Never did I think in a million years that I should pull out a knife and end a person's life. Whoa. And for these blacks to just be defending it.
About the Carmelo Anthony situation, bro. So this is what I'm hearing from my point of view. And if I got a mistake, go ahead and correct me in the comments. I'm not tripping. So a black male was sitting under a tent in the opposing team side. Two people came and confront this black dude and tells him, hey, you need to move. You're not supposed to be on this side. Bro didn't move. He stayed there. For whatever reason, I don't really know. These two kids decides to punch him, break his phone, and beat him up. The black male proceeds to take a weapon out of his backpack and use it for whatever reason. Keep in mind, I did say two people came up to this one individual. Two. So now let me get to my standpoint of what I see. This really hurts me to say this, bro, like dead ass serious, bro. As a black community, we have to do better, bro. I'm seeing freaking people of my skin like reposting bullshit, bro. Wait till the full story come out and then fucking repost it. I'm seeing people say, why does he got a knife at a track meet?
Oh, y'all want to hear the full story now? That wasn't the case with George Floyd. That wasn't the case with anything. That wasn't the case with Breonna Taylor, the drug dealer. Breonna Taylor, the dealer. Okay? Like, no, we don't want to hear the full story. Oh, wait till the full story comes out. Wait till the full. There is nothing on that camera that can convince me that a 17-year-old's response to conflict is to pull out a knife and stab somebody. Nothing. I don't care. I don't care if the boys kicked him. I don't care if the boy stab a knife. Stab. Y'all, the bliggities get on my nerves.
What? Bro, this dude is black. Y'all don't know what we go through, bro. This dude could be living in the ghetto, bro. Real shit.
In a world where George Zimmerman walked free for going out of his way to kill an unarmed innocent black teen for walking in a neighborhood, when Curtis Reeves walked free for shooting someone because they threw popcorn on him during an argument, when Daniel Perry walked free for going out of his way to kill an unarmed homeless man, when Kyle Rittenhouse walked free for going out of his way to cross state lines to shoot protesters, I refuse to have sympathy for a white kid who started a fight that he couldn't finish. Keep your hands to yourself. This is an unfortunate case of self-defense, and I give my condolences to all parties. It's weird that y'all are using this tragedy to be racist, completely tarnishing the fact that a kid lost his life.
And then he says, my condolences. Y'all, I'm sick of black people.
Point where Austin Metcalf's own father had to come out and say that y'all need to stop making this a race issue.
So I refuse to believe that this boy just acted off of emotions or whatever. So when you read it and you hear the stories, he's over there, the twin and the twin's friends are telling him to leave the area. Not only just telling him to leave the area, they say over a dispute over a seat. It was way more than a dispute over a seat. They grabbed his belongings, his bag, started stomping all of his stuff, threw his phone, stomped on his phone, all these other shenanigans, right? I don't know where the coaches were. I don't know. But it's like, be for real. These phones, these are not these little Nokias that we had back in the day. Phones cost some real money right now. So.
Phones cost a life. Quintessential knowledge. Phones cost a life. We're comparing phones to a life.
Anybody's going to feel away if you're destroying their stuff. We don't We don't know if the story that's being told by the children under the tent for that team is the truth or not. We don't know if he was trying to get his stuff. We don't know any of that. But what we do know is if you read the stories, he was jumped. It wasn't just the twin and him going back and forth. The other kids were like jumping on this boy. And
get the freak out the tent. Get out the tent. You know how you can stop them quintessential knowledge from jumping on you? If you're not in the tent that you don't belong in. Problem solved. Problem solved. Sis? Sis? You know how you can get jumped? You know the best way to get jumped is to be somewhere you're not supposed to be. Oh, they were jumping on him. Did they go in his tent and jump on him? Sis, you know how this go. These black people know how this thing go. If you're black, you're white. The best way to get jumped is come to somebody's house, come to somebody's room, be somewhere they don't want you, and they ask you to leave, and you act like you don't have to. That's the easiest way to get jumped. Hello?
And as far as it goes with why did he have a knife, this is Texas. This Texas. I only been there once, but everybody got something in Texas.
It is amazing. They used to have a collagen, used to have a probiotic, a green juice that replaced it all.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Okay, so this happens all.
Y'all, I'm so bothered by this because adults are defending these children behaving badly. The girl, y'all saw me do the show with the track star that hit the other black girl in the head. But this black boy felt like his conflict should be resolved by ending a kid's life, black or white. Black or white. You end their life, and black people are, well, we like Matt said, we got whole detectives now. Whole detective. We need to wait till the final story come out. Black folks overreact to everything, y'all. Black folks do everything except wait till the full story come out. They make up their own story. Let me tell you, the full story don't even have to come out. They make the story. And y'all, wait till the full story come out. Really? We doing that? Is we doing that? There is no reason to kill somebody. Portia says, and I think this is really good, killing someone for self-defense is only justified when you feel like your life is at risk. How could he fear for his life with all the other people around, students, officials, teachers, and his own team? Exactly. Where the hell was his own team? Not a chance at all. Exactly. This is the question. Self-defense. This ain't self-defense. You were somewhere you were not supposed to be. So your self-defense argument, squash, squash, squash. But let's say you did have permission, because they're saying that he said that he had permission to be there. If you have permission to be there and you are feeling bullied or uncomfortable and they don't want you there, why are you going to stay there? You see something's wrong with black folks' minds, y'all? You're getting bullied there. You're not supposed to be there, but you have permission to be there. But the people who are there don't want you there. And so instead of you saying, okay, fine, let me pick up my stuff, let me kind of go on my way, I'm going to stay here because I want to. That's insane, y'all. Is this the type of kids that like, is this what we doing? That's insane. And then black folks defending this horrible, horrible, horrible behavior. Horrible behavior from children. Y'all, like, and I know, y'all, I'm telling y'all, these are not our people. These are not our people. Because the black folks I know, we ain't down for this. It's just a small subset of black people that just got problems, y'all. Problems. Exactly, Daniel Penny. Oh, Rebel Without a Reason. I'm so glad you said that. These are the same black folks that wanted Daniel Penny to go to jail because he held your boy in a chokehold who was actually attacking other people. Actually, he was a hero, Daniel Penny. And the black folks made him out to be all kinds of evil. Y'all, this is not cool. It mainly is so upsetting because it's children. Like, we don't care that this is children. Children? Y'all, I can't. It's so disheartening. It's so sad. I'm praying for their family. I'm praying for they had go look up the story. They had the father of the child that lost his life, the twin that lost his life, crying, and he was saying don't make it about race. And people are saying, oh, he might have called him the N word. Y'all, honestly, none of that matters. This is indefensible. Children, teenagers do not do not handle their conflicts at school with knives and fatal objects. They don't. They don't. We raising these boys that are punks. Dude, throw up your dukes. Fight like a man or leave. If you feel like you have a right to be there, what happened to this? What happened to fighting the fair? What happened to that? We raising these feminized men that these two twins come up to you, and instead of you saying, okay, don't want no smoke, I don't want to fight y'all football players, clearly y'all some big dudes, I don't want to fight. Let me move on. Let me move on. I don't want that work. You pull out a knife and end their lives. Y'all, I have to talk to my son. I talk to my son all the time. Like, I had to have my son see this because like he's will sometimes get into back and forths with these guys. And I said, babe, you have got to do de-escalation. You have got to do like big time. Why? Because these black kids got problems. They do. Y'all sons and y'all daughters got problems, okay? If you're not talking to your kids about de-escalation, then they're probably the problem. I said, babe, these kids are killing over nothing. You almost have to swallow your pride and say, you got it. You got it. I don't want that work. We good. We good. Because you thinking that it's a fair fight. You thinking that, you got the upper hand, and old dude just come back with a gun or come back with a knife and stabbing you. I don't want to live in that kind of world. Where are the police? What's going on? Y'all, it's so sad. It's so sad, especially and you guys. If you have children, you understand. Portia, you said athletes are not just gonna start a fight for no reason. They're waiting for their Hold on, let me see. She said athletes are not gonna start a fight for no reason. They're waiting for their race to get those scholarships. They don't want to risk getting hurt in a fight. I don't believe the other guys joined in the fight at all. I don't know that you could be 100% right. I know kids do stupid things. Like I know kids get into fights not even thinking about that stuff, Portia, like we do, right? We're thinking like, and some kids are responsible like that, thinking like that, but some are not. But it doesn't mean that you get to take out a knife and stab somebody to death because you don't like what they said to you, you don't like that they pushed you, and you were in the wrong place. You don't get to do that, especially as a child. Lock him up. Lock him up. He got to go. He got to get out of society for a good amount of years. I don't want that person in my society at all. It's not cool. Speaking of somebody I don't want in my society, y'all, I'm just going to talk briefly about this, but I think it's really important because I don't know when I don't know when other races have figured out and white people have not. White people have not and black people have not, but other races don't fool with black folks, okay? White folks do, and so do black folks. Amber Ruffin, I need to talk about her. So Amber Ruffin is a comedian. Let me share the screen, y'all. This is really important. This is really important. She got the job of being the comedian for the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So the White House Correspondents' Dinner is what they have where they usually roast the president, roast other members um, uh, in politics and other politicians and stuff like that, right? It's usually really funny. Everybody dressed up and they have a good time, right? So it's a pretty like stush kind of thing. Like it's really like a chance of a lifetime. Like, oh my God, I was chosen. And Amber Ruffin, black girl, I don't know if she's funny or not. Maybe she is. I mean, everybody's look, everybody's funny in their own right, right? But she was chosen for this, and instead of her being honored, which she should be, black folks feel like things are entitled to them, like I'm a black woman, so you should choose me. And what I do understand about the White House Correspondents Association is that it's ran by a black gay guy. So this is not race, y'all, right? This is not race. But this is what happens when you try to give people like Amber Ruffin an opportunity. This is what happens. She was simply asked, you guys, simply asked, hey, we want you to do this. We're going to pay you a lot of money to do this. You're going to get a lot of exposure. Here is where you get to show your talent to the world. You get to sprinkle all that black girl magic all over the globe because you're going to shine, sister girl. And we're going to give you this opportunity. And instead, she blows it. Why does she blow it? Why does she blow it? Because she cannot be fair on both sides. That's all they asked her. They said, hey, whatever jokes you're going to say, we just ask that you don't make it one-sided, that you make jokes about both sides. Now, we can all agree. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're Democrat. We can all agree, if you're a rational person, that there's plenty of content to go around both sides, right? The Democrats, you can laugh at them. The Republicans, you can laugh at them. That's, that comedians usually try to do even. I was watching Cat Williams and it was so funny. He was talking about President Trump, but it was tasteful, right? But you get this black girl who is an activist and not understanding that she has the opportunity to show that black people can do things in excellence. This is what she says. She goes on this rant about it.
Necessarily, like, I'm not 100% interested in being like, ha, you're here, look at your stupid head, you're burned. I care, like, you're kind of a bunch of murderers. I mean, so like they were like, you need to be, equal and make sure that that you give it to both sides and blah blah blah. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be freaking doing that, dude. Under no circumstances.
When you as a performer, like when you have
Hold on real quick. I'm going to go back to that. She's a dummy. This girl is a dummy. A dummy. It reminds me of the whole Chris Rock hashtag Oscar so white, and when he went and hosted it after they were quote unquote uh boycotting the Oscars, and he still went up there and did it with excellence and with dignity, and then he laughed a little bit about it, but he showed that he can still stay true to his craft, his art, which is comedy, and he honors the commitment that he made to be fair, and honored the commitment that he made to be into to his family, to get paid for the art that he does. But she wanna be an activist, is a dummy. Here we go.
Dude. Under no
You
circumstances.
call them
when you
murderers?
like when you as a performer, like when you have like a live performance that you're doing for the people who are there, and you are you doing it more it's for the cameras or it's for the people in the room? And how do you make I don't know. Is that just an organic process of
'Cause
figuring
it's
out
a
who
tough
you're
it's a tough room, right? It's a
It's
big room. It's
terrible room.
3,000 people in the Hilton Ballroom in Washington, which
Mhm.
is hard to command, and then you've got the audience, the television audience.
Yeah, it's never great to do both, especially in a bad environment like that. And they say it's a bad audience, and sometimes that's true, but sometimes it's not. They're certainly poorly mic'd for sure, times 1,000. Everyone I've talked to said it feels a lot better than it looks.
Right.
So that makes me feel hopeful. But also, it's just a horrible room. It's a bad room for comedy. It's not great.
Right. Right.
High ceilings, warm, the last thing you want. Thousands of people far, far back. It's not ideal, but I do think, like, there will be a, like, sense of, "What the hell are we doing?"
Yeah.
Like, it's bonkers that we're
Yeah.
still acting like things are normal. I don't know. We're all going on this roller coaster, right? Like, you spend 5 minutes like, "Hey, we've had worse." Then you turn a corner and you're like, "No, this is as bad as it will ever be. Nothing is this bad." So,
Yeah.
I'm glad to be on that roller coaster with you guys.
Is it I mean, did they actually say to you that you need to go after both?
Y'all, and then she's so childish. She's so like you call people murderers. Nobody has murdered or unalived like some of them Democrat people that they love so much. Like this like the Olympic pool swimmer slash cook that just so happened to drown. All them people that end up passed away around them Clintons. And then she's like she knows. Oh gosh, it's just disgusting. Here we go.
Both sides equally.
They said what they said is that they had been, had people bring it up in the past, how uneven the, comedy was.
'Cause usually the comedy is directed at whoever is the president at the time. So even when you went to the Obama White House Correspondents' Dinner, which he did attend, there were tons of jokes about him, and he was probably more aligned with the media than any other most recent president.
Yeah, I think it's just that burns on Trump hurt badly. And then it trickles down to everyone who's around him, because y'all also guilty. So I think they got their feelings hurt. But and they want that false equivalency that the media does. They want that. It feels great. It makes them feel like human beings. But they
Yes.
shouldn't get to feel that way because they're not.
Some people are more culpable than others.
They're not Did you hear her say that? That because you are Trump or you're Republican or because you believe a certain way. You're not human beings. You're murderers. Like, do you see how like they just take it like so far? And us conservatives and Trump supporters and Republic, we just like let her people like her say that kind of stuff instead of her being completely admonished, like completely like shunned from American society. You don't get to talk to Americans like that just because you don't like our politics. You don't get to call us murderers. You don't get to call us not human, or else we're going to affect you economically. And we just allow her to just say those things. And she's like, oh, burns on President Trump hurts more. No, 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 no. Let me tell you something. President Trump is from New York, okay? What President Trump doesn't like is he doesn't like not fair. You even see him in that interview where he was like, hey, I just want you to be fair. And she was like, no, I'm going to give you some tough questions. I just want it to be fair. If anything, I think President Trump can take toughness more than a lot of these like liberals. Barack Obama got shamed for calling black men like they didn't know or uninformed or uneducated, and you ain't seen him since. He went into hiding on Martha's Vineyard, okay? Because he couldn't take the heat. President Trump is constantly going toward battle, fighting, 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 fighting. You talk about he can't take it? Girl, bye. Girl, sit down. What you should have done is shown some class and sprinkled your black girl magic everywhere and said, you know what? I can do it. I can rise to the occasion. Even if I feel personally about some things, I am a professional. I am a business owner, and I'm going to show I'm going to make these black girls who look up to me proud. That's what she could have did, but she didn't. An activist, gotta be extra, and clearly she don't know no black people because the black girls that I know would have said, girl, go get your money. Girl, go get your money. Go get that coin. Go get your coin, sis. So you mean to tell me you can't like finagle some stuff? We would have been looking at you like you stupid. Like the black girls that I know, they constantly being fair or being or trying to be in the middle at work, at home, at school. You can't do it for the money that you about to make and the exposure you about to get. You're a fool. You definitely don't roll with the black girls that I do, sis. Sorry, dummy, dummy, dumb. Oh gosh, these people kill me. These people kill me, y'all. I'ma quit going off. The last segment that I wanted to talk about, and y'all, I've been wanting to talk about this for a couple of weeks now, but I haven't been able to find a way to talk about it because it kind of bothers me. I see both sides, but I'm going to tell you guys my perspective, and I want to know if y'all agree, right? Because I have a problem um uh that's a little bit unique, right? So Donnie McClurkin, you guys know that he has been trending. Let me pull up his stuff. The old Donnie. He has been trending, y'all. I gotta find a quick one because I'm not about to listen to this whole thing. All right. Hold on. All right. So Donnie McClurkin is a gospel artist. He's world renowned, you guys. He's one of my personal favorites. I mean, just a voice, a gift that is amazing. And God uses him. He's a pastor, preacher. I've seen him preach. He's just a talented guy that God just kind of uses to speak his word. Donnie McClurkin has never been married. And one of the reasons why he said he's never been married is because he still bouts he suffers with same-sex attraction. I'll call that. Homosexuality is the act of the sin. But he struggles now because I don't know if he's in sin or not. He struggles now with same-sex attraction, and so he believes that he's banished to kind of being alone for the rest of his life because he can't be married to a woman and still desiring the a man. And then he's saying that he does, obviously he wants to honor God with his life, so he will not continue into homosexuality. So beautiful testimony that he shares and has shared about how he's just given his life to God, and just kind of accepts that. And I think that that's the best life you can live. I mean, really. But now he's coming and he's trending because he's getting a little bit more vivid about his testimony, you guys. And hold on. Marissa said, hold on. She said, okay, good night, family. All right, sweetie girl. All right. I told y'all, I kept her longer than I normally do. See you, Marissa. Good night. So his testimony, he's being a little bit more vivid about his bouts of homosexuality and him struggling with same-sex attraction and where it came from. And it's y'all just watch and then I'll tell you my opinion. I'll tell you my opinion. I'll tell you my opinion after we watch. He one of my favorite songs, God, he sings so many. There's a song that he sings, That's What I Believe. He sings another song that with Yolanda Adams. He sings The Prayer. He did a version of The Prayer that's my favorite version, which Donnie Clerkin and Yolanda Adams. He just an amazing talent, you guys, amazing voice. Let's take a look.
What am I doing? I'm taking the mask off. I'm taking the mask off. I'm taking the mask off. I'm telling the young people I'm coming clean. You want real? I'm real right now. You want real? I'm clear. I'm real. I'm transparent right now. You have no idea how many times I gave myself away trying to find myself. Just trying to feel love because my daddy didn't cover me. Just trying to feel love because I didn't have a man to show me what love was. And the only man that loved me lusted me when I was 8, and that's all I knew to look for. So playing the piano, speaking in tongues, but somebody seeing me on the piano and coming and saying, let me help you, only to make me twice the son of hell he was. You don't know what's going on with your kids. And you let your discernment go when you look at their friends and don't discern what's in them. Oh, that's just Johnny. That's just Sally. You don't understand what's going on right now. Katy Perry is turning the girls out. Talking about I kissed the girl and I liked it. You don't hear what I'm telling you. These young girls are just as bad as the boys in homosexuality, but you don't see it. You don't see it. You don't see it. But today,
does your offer pass the irresistible test? Did you know that 90% of online businesses fail within their first 4 months?
Hear me, every one of you young people. I've been there. But God said with loving kindness, not with condemnation, with loving kindness, y'all hear me? Not with guilt, with loving kindness have I drawn you. God said, I don't want your gift. I want your life. I don't want your talent. I want you. And I will heal every broken cycle. I will turn your life around. Heart for God and a lust for sin. I understand how it is to want to stay in church. The reason why you're in church now is because there's something in you. You're not crazed. You're not wayward. You're not that buck wild. The reason why you're in church is because there's something in you. But you also know that while there's something in you for God, there are other people in church that appeal to your lust. Let's be real. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Why is it that we don't like talking true? And I'm dealing with people who are saying, well, no, it's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. And this one fell, and this one messed up, and this one fell, and this one said homosexuality is right. It's just broken people. I can't condemn Tone. I got to love Tone, but I got to tell him the truth. This is not the will of God. And you got to tell your children, you can't be afraid to talk about it on these platforms. These platforms are not just about Moses on the mountain. No. We got to deal with the real deal. And we got to tell our children, no, baby, that's a broken person. That's not the real way. There's a way that seems right to a man. But the end, do you realize how it looks from the pulpit? But the young people need to know, I walked and I tried to find myself through other men in the church, in the grand old church. What am I doing? I'm taking the mask off. I'm taking the mask off. I'm taking the mask off. I'm telling the young people I'm coming clean. You want real? I'm real right now. You want real? I'm clear. I'm real. I'm transparent right now. You have no idea how many times I gave myself away trying to find myself. Just trying to feel love because my daddy didn't cover me.
So, y'all, okay. All right. Pastor Donnie. The Bible says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. That's how we overcome, right? I have a problem when you're in an environment like this, right? Where there's tons of people, tons of young kids, and you are giving explicit, getting explicit about your own personal struggles or what your personal struggles were. I think it's toxic. I do. And I know that sounds so bad, you guys, but there's so many other scriptures and uplifting messages that you can do for those brilliant and bright minds. And you use this opportunity to talk about the pain and the hurt sexually that you went through. And I just think that it's inappropriate. If my children were in that room, like I would be mortified, first of all, and I would probably leave. Why? My kids are little. They don't know about sex with a man. And they don't know, and I don't want you exposing it to them, like in church, and talking about things that don't apply to us all here. Like, almost like sowing like seeds of confusion in kids who weren't even thinking about it. They weren't even thinking. Some of those kids don't even know that I Kissed a Girl and I Like This Song. They don't even know it. But when you say that, it kind of brings it to the forefront. Like, why do we do this in church, and I'm Black church because that's what I attend? you focus so much on your hurt and your trauma, and you bring it to the pulpit instead of the altar. Sir, sir, I understand what you went through. Like, I understand what you went through was traumatic. And I can only imagine you being the son of someone, and them having a person that took advantage of you. He later reveals that it's his uncle in this same sermon, I think, took advantage of him. But like saying it like over a pulpit when there's so many other topics plaguing the Black community, um you use it to tell your testimony about how you were taken advantage of in a really sad way. Like, it made me feel so uncomfortable, y'all. It would be fine. Yeah, it would be fine for a parents, yeah, or a conference. Yeah, you're right, Portia. Like, um, it's not appropriate for a family service. Would be fine an older youth conference because lots of youth are suddenly struggling. Exactly. Or if like, but a lot of youth are not struggling with it, y'all. Like some of them are not. And so sometimes I think when you say that, it kind of exposes the youth that are not even thinking like this to it. Um I felt so uncomfortable. Like I really did. And it's not like he cares about my comfort. I get it. And it's not like, my comfort in church is supreme, but I don't like when pastors do this. There's so many other uplifting topics that we can talk about. But he's talking about apologizing to Tone. Tone is a gospel artist that came out as gay. Oh, sorry guys. Sorry. I'm about to be up there with Marissa. I sleep. But Tone came out as gay and the church shunned him. And Donnie McClurkin saying, like we gotta understand where he's coming from, and we like I just kind of feel like this is like um poisonous. I really do. Kids who have not even thought about it um are now thinking about it. Maybe there's some that are, but you don't preach to that. Um like when I tell my testimony, and my testimony is one similar to him of, just abuse by adults. I don't start getting graphic and like sharing, you know I don't know, you guys. I don't know. And I could be wrong. Like I'm happy to debate it. You guys can send me your thoughts, your feelings. I'm happy to hear what your thoughts are. Um but gosh, I'm just like Donnie, that needs to go to God. That needs to go to God. You bringing your trauma, and I'll say it again, to the pulpit when it belongs at the altar, where God forgives sins and God helps to wash away. He wipe away all your tears. Like take his yoke upon you. I don't know. I don't know. I hope that he felt better after that, or he felt like he had really gotten it off of his chest, or he has said what thus saith the Lord. But I don't know. I don't know if I would do that. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anywho, you guys, I just wanted to share that with you, y'all. I just appreciate. I'm so grateful that you watch. I'm so grateful. It's almost like she has the freedom to choose where she can go and can't go, and what she will and will not do absolutely oppressed. Exactly. Hold on, I think you're talking about the girl, the sister girl, Amber. Yeah, like these people are ridiculous. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. I'm going to continue to read your comments, y'all. I appreciate it. If you haven't done already, please, please, please like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Share this with someone who's on the fence. I feel like I have a message to people. I have been a Democrat for all my life, you guys, until 2020, when I realized that these people have been lying to us. You guys, I try my best to bring a different perspective. And you guys, if you feel like this will be helpful to someone, please, please, please share it. Please share it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Rebel Without a Reason said, at least he's not praising it. Yeah. I didn't feel like he was praising it. I was more so worried about the people who, like, who are keeping themselves, excuse me, who are keeping themselves pure and who love God and weren't even thinking about that. And now they got to deal with this, this monkey on their back. Anyway, you guys, like, I just appreciate it so, so very much. My heart goes out to Donnie McClurkin. That's y'all. If you got children, keep them, y'all keep your children from going over people's houses, spending the night, uncles, aunts, like, mm-mm, mm-mm. No. Cousins are the worst. Y'all keep your children, because what I do agree with him is that one mistake, or not one mistake, one interaction with someone can just change your child's future for the rest of their lives, and so you have to treat it like that. Y'all see me yawning. Stepdads, y'all be careful. Boyfriends, girlfriends, y'all be careful. Protect your children. Anywho, like, share, comment, subscribe, and until next time, peace. Thanks for hanging in there with me.